Hi, my name is Cheryl Kippen. I'm the Cultural History Program Coordinator with Boulder County Parks and Open Space. And today at Walker Ranch, we're going to see an old-fashioned vintage baseball game where the Colorado Territorial All-Stars will play our home team, the Walker Ranchers, and also we'll have our Autumn Heritage Day with living history demonstrations, with demonstrations from the 1880s to 1900 where you can do laundry, you can churn butter, you can go to a one-room school session, you can see the blacksmith and see what's cooking in the log house, and all kinds of other fun things that your great, ever so great grandparents might have done, and see if you would have been a good pioneer or maybe just a so-so pioneer.
My name is Ian Traveler Tenney. That's spelled with two R's, two L's, rather, like Robert E. Lee's horse was spelled. We're out here playing 1864 rules baseball. In other words, old-time baseball. Gloves weren't invented for about another 10 years, so we play barehanded. That's one thing that's different. Another thing that's different is we play with a one-bound rule, which means any batted ball played off of one bounce is an out. Doesn't hit the ground twice, it can be an out. It's like having a force on first base.
My name's Bob Mitchell. I go by Buckeye. Everybody has a nickname. It was just a custom at the time, way of identifying your teammates, and it follows through to today's game. A lot of modern ball players have nicknames too, but at that time, everybody had a nickname. Mine's Buckeye, a nod to my Ohio roots. The ball is same size and shape as a modern ball, but it's softer. And the stitching is different because that's just the way the balls were stitched initially. We call it a lemon peel stitching.
My name is Cooper Soda Boots Michael. I am the commissioner of the Colorado Vintage Baseball Association, and I am today's umpire. Some like to call me arbiter, but I am the umpire. Umpiring is completely different in 1864. Really, the two teams would have picked me out from the crowd or agreed on me to umpire the game before the match was scheduled. And really my job is to make sure everyone plays fairly, to call fair and foul balls, and help out with any call that they cannot come to an agreement to on their own. I do not call balls and strikes because there was no strike zone in 1864, but I will call warnings and then proceed to balls and strikes if it's apparent that the pitcher isn't, providing sufficient, balls to the batter to strike at, or if the striker isn't, swinging at good pitches.
After left field, Traveler, third base tender.
Batting eighth is Cannibal. Out. Keep your fingers away, folks. He will be at the third bag.
1 foot in the soup and you're labeled for life.
Batting ninth is Traveler. He will be our pitcher. And their change player today is Pockets.
Huzzah! You're going to be busy.
Will you be entertaining the folks here at Walker Ranch today?
Yes.
We shall.
Well, I'm sorry you have to hear this.
And if we win, we promise not to sing again. All right. 1, 2, we'll rally round the flag, boys will rally once again, touting the manly sport of baseball. And we'll rally from the hills and we'll rally from the plains, touting the manly sport of baseball. The All-Stars forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah! Down with the Flatlanders, up with the Star, and we'll rally round the flag, boys, we'll rally once again, touting the manly sport of baseball. Hip, hip, huzzah!
Hip, hip,
Huzzah!
Hip, hip, huzzah!
We'll begin with the Walker Ranchers, captained by Pat the Cat Walker. Batting first is Pat the Cat Walker. Batting second is Tex Walker. I do not know what positions they play. They did not inform me of that. Batting third is Sneaky Pete Walker. Batting fourth is Stretch Walker.
My name is John Cantalupo. I'm a volunteer here at Walker Ranch. I've been volunteering for, how long has it been? You were a lot smaller, so maybe about 5 years. And I've done a lot with like the chores and things on the ranch. And a few years ago I started learning blacksmithing from some of the other blacksmiths that have worked here. Took some classes. So now I, talk to visitors about why we use, or why James Walker had the blacksmith shop here and the kinds of things he was doing, and show them some of the techniques that were done.
So you didn't do blacksmithing, you learned this just as part of your volunteer duty, basically?
I did, and truly I think blacksmithing was one of the things that attracted us and our family to Walker Ranch. Back when my son was about 2 or 3 years old, we'd come to Walker Ranch and he was just fascinated by the blacksmith shop, and so was I. So that was one of the many things that attracted us here, and I was really excited once I started volunteering here to have the opportunity to start doing it.
What's your sort of best memory of volunteering out here? Do you have one?
My best memory of volunteer, gosh, it's, I don't know if I could point to one specific thing, but just the questions that I get from people, especially like the kids when they come in and they've just got some really good questions. I always enjoy when it's really interactive, talking to the people that come out and visit.
What do you make in the Smith Forge?
Well, I'm not an extremely experienced blacksmith, so I don't do anything like fancy or decorative. One of my favorite things to make is just like nails, because I think, one, they demonstrate some of the really basic techniques of smithing really well as far as drawing things out to a point and upsetting things. And it's a quick project relatively, and gets to use, this is a nail header, which is a tool that I actually made to help make nails. So it also demonstrates the fact that, like as a blacksmith, you're not just making things, but sometimes you're making or modifying tools to help make other things. So I think it's one of my favorite things to make just because it's simple, it's a good demonstration piece, and it's within my skill range.
My name is Tracy, and I am a volunteer here at Walker Ranch. This is my first year volunteering. I found out about this through an email from Boulder County, actually. Thought it was an interesting opportunity to come and help recreate history. I learned first about Walker Ranch by bringing my children up here 20 years ago. They loved it so much that I thought it would be a really fun place to come and volunteer and help share that experience with other families. Today I am giving tours of our model one-room schoolhouse. We're designing this to show what it was like for kids who were going to school on a ranch or a farm or perhaps a small mine that had brought in a teacher to give the kids an education. So these schoolhouses tended to be very small, focused around a family group or a couple of neighbors, or like I said, a mine. They would bring in a teacher. Often it was either a Civil War veteran or a young woman who often had just finished going through that school because married women were not allowed to be teachers at that point in time.
volunteering up at Walker Ranch for I think about 8 years or so, mainly seasonally for the fall event with the old-fashioned baseball game, but we're in the log house, which is always a charming and wonderful place to be, so that's my choice spot to volunteer. And we basically do demonstrations of cooking on the wood stove and just kind of explaining the history of the log house. And we actually, my family and I have been volunteering up here for quite a while. My husband has been doing blacksmith demonstrations, and likewise with my daughters, and I have 2 of them up here, of the 3 daughters up here today. So we've got some cider going, and we made an apple crisp in the oven. I can come around and show you here. So we've got this baking right now. It might be a little tricky to see, but it's just in the side oven, so we're just monitoring. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's that. And yeah, I think everyone enjoys coming into this space just because it reminds them a little bit of home and how the Walkers would engage, you know, with the homestead and needing a home base on which to make food, things like that. So.
Runner's dead at second. The score did count.
Well, they beat us today. That's what happened to that game today, you know. But overall, we played pretty well. And one thing big to remember about this All-Star team is, again, as we got a lot of old guys. We had 5 over 60, 4 over 70, and 1 was 86 years old playing these young guys. At least they had a few younger players. You know. Well, oftentimes, going places are all 30, 40-year-olds, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, they were up for most of the game, but what's fun about this game is with the field and how uneven it is, you never know what's going to happen, where that ball is going to go. So we got lucky that one inning and got a few good hits. So
takes the wrong bounces, you know, and that's the nice thing about playing a field like this, because if it hits a hole or a weed or something like that, it's going to go sideways whether you're a good player or not.
Yeah.
They don't care.
So do you represent Parks and Rec?
Yes. Yep.
Tell us about that.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with the Boulder County Parks and Open Space, and work with the Education Outreach Department. So, you know, it's part of our cultural history program, and it's great to have these guys come out that know the history behind the game and know how to play this and teach our players. And it's just a really fun event. It's one of my favorite part of my job, and I love doing it every year.
And we were trying to figure out exactly how many years we've been playing. It could be as many as 30. I know it's better than 25 because this is my 24th year playing here, and they started playing before I started playing with the league. So
I think I was told 30th anniversary next year.
It's our anniversary, yeah, next year. So it might be 29, 28, 29 because I played here the first year. So
yeah.
No, this is one of our oldest games that we've been playing.
Well, Walkers, looks like they want to get you in a photograph.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. These are great, everyone. Well played.
Come and volunteer with us at Boulder County Parks and Open Space and Cultural History. You can help out at our various museum sites, the Agricultural Heritage Center, Walker Ranch Homestead, the Assay Office Museum, the Nederland Mining Museum, Altona School, and others. You can share history and your love of history, as well as the local area, with